Hey guys, welcome back. Nicola here, the outreach specialist with REE Medical. I am so excited to have on Theresa today. Theresa went through REE Medical. She's going to share all about her journey from beginning to end, what her experience was like. And we're super excited to also incorporate Warrior Rising, which is one of the foundations that we are doing a partnership with. And we're so excited to partner with that. So, Theresa, I would love for you to introduce yourself, just kind of tell everybody a little bit about what you do, where you served, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. I'll just ask you some questions and then we'll talk about Warrior Rising.
Awesome. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Theresa Irving. I'm a United States Air Force veteran. I spent most of my time over in REF Lakenheath, REF Croughton in England, and then 5 years in Japan. I did do two short stateside tours, but for the most part, I've been overseas. I've done two combat tours to Iraq with the 82nd Airborne. And before I was 20, I had saw over 32 different countries while serving in the military overseas. So it was absolutely amazing. My journey. I loved and served with honor throughout my career, and I loved being in the military.
That's incredible. Oh, before you were 20? You said before you were 20. That's
Yes.
amazing.
So I absolutely love just the whole experience for me was amazing. I retired in 2014. I took the Terra program and got out 3 years early, but was still eligible for retirement. And my husband and I decided to start a new chapter of our lives, coming back to Michigan, where I'm from, and just enjoying life and wanting to raise our family. What I what I found was when I took the Terra program and came home from overseas, there had been an issue with my paperwork when I had gotten out. And so they actually thought I was 16 years old, and I actually never got my original comp and pen appointment. They thought I was lying about the claims I was making, and they just shut my claim down. And it wasn't until 2018, I'm a billable patient for the last 4 years, and I am really getting sick. We find out I have tumors in my ear canals and a number of other issues. And my friend looks at me, who was a service officer, and he's like, I think you have some service conditions. And I'm like, no, I'm so healthy. I never even got an appointment. And so a lot of things changed at that point. And I was able to start kind of the process of a service connection disability claim. But when they came back, they didn't give me the rating, and they really didn't address the biggest things that I had issues with, which were I'm losing my vision and I'm having really bad migraines. And so my friend had told me about REE Medical and his experience about being able to really dial in and talk to somebody about their service and what they had gone through and where they had been at and what they could have been exposed to. And I was like, I've never had an experience like that. The doctor slotted an hour and they want you out in 10 minutes. And so I was so impressed with what he had said. I decided to reach out to REE Medical myself, and experienced the same kind of customer service of somebody getting a hold of me, of somebody letting me know in my free consultation what it was we still hadn't addressed, and the problems that aren't on my problem list medically that needed to be, so I could really have refocused care within the VA. And so that happened. And it has really helped strengthen my ability to go in and have focused care on the needs, because everybody's medical needs are different. And your provider is seeing so many different clients, right? He's seeing so many different people that they don't have the opportunity sometimes to dial in on your medical needs.
When you went through the process first, when you were going through the service connection like process with the VA, how long did it take you? I know you said you were denied. How long did that process take you from when you started to when you like received that decision initially before you like went through us?
So probably about a year. So a year
Okay.
kind of doing it on my own,
Just kind of on your own. Got
yeah.
it.
And
Okay.
when you do it on your own, I think what you think about are all the big items, and you really
Mhm.
miss out on your dates, on your places
Right.
that you've been, on supporting statements and who you might know to be able to support that, or Were you seen at a certain place that could
Right.
back up what your claim is? And so having somebody really take you through a reflection of your military service and your medical history is incredible because there's so many things that you thought that you knew about yourself that you had forgotten.
Right. That's incredible. So then, okay, so your friend, you heard about RE, you went through RE Medical. So from sort of what was that process like for you when you started? Were you, I'm sure, we have veterans tell us all the time, maybe they were a little skeptical, maybe they were really excited. They were like, let's do this. What were you feeling in that moment when you started, having sort of had the previous experiences kind of going when you started the process?
I think a lot for me is I really feel jaded sometimes at the beginning of this. So I'm a woman, I'm a veteran, I served with honor. And a lot of times I go into places and people ask me what my husband did in the service, or if I'm here to check him in or check him out of an appointment. And so at first, I'm a little, I guess, at the start of this process, a little afraid that I was going to call and have somebody kind of be subjective to me. And I also look a lot younger than I am. I had a full service career. And a lot of people are like, what? But I tell people all the time, I've just lived really well and I worry very little. And
Love
so,
it. That's great
it's
advice.
yeah, freebie. And it's really important though to be an advocate for yourself, but also have the right advocate in your corner, right? It's if you have the wrong advocate that has needs that aren't your needs, I think your voice doesn't get heard as effectively.
I love that. Thank you. That is so crucial. I mean, we definitely try to, with all the veterans we assist, really advocate for them, right? Like obviously we don't make any guarantees, we don't make promises. It isn't and ultimately up to the VA, but we very much take that hands-on approach of making sure that we are advocating for them and what they, deserve, what they are entitled to. So going through the process, especially at the end when you received your decision from the VA. What was that process like for you and that experience in that moment?
For me, it was just overwhelmingly, I was grateful. And I also feel like at that moment is when my healthcare shifted from
Mhm.
the type of care that everybody else was getting to the healthcare that Theresa Irving needed and is deserved because of
Right,
her commitment and career. Like it totally changed everything from my specialty care, my provider, and the way that people addressed me. Right. So I wasn't
right.
the complaining veteran anymore. I had real conditions that needed to be
Yes,
addressed. And
as
I feel
many of them do.
right. But I just feel like it really reconnected me
Yeah.
to the VA. And yesterday you saw that I was able to go to the
Yes.
Kellogg Eye Clinic. And so just to be able to start getting answers and figuring out the process to hopefully help me with my vision and migraines is huge.
That was so I know you have been so great at just kind of checking in with us and letting us know like how this has impacted you and what you've been doing. I mean, honestly, it's stories like that that really encourage other veterans who are watching this to want to, you know, give us a shot, do the free consultation because at the end of the day, veterans are going to trust other veterans, right? Like veterans who have gone through the process, who have gone through what you've gone through, they're going to trust fellow veterans and their experience and what that was like for them. Um, so thank you for just sharing that because your journey, especially, just having talked to you, having getting the updates from you, it's just been really inspiring to see firsthand what you went through and then going through remedical and then where you are now. It's been so incredible to see, Theresa.
I think that is really important to understand too is REE Medical helped me find out where to go get my medical records, how to get things that were evidence that helped me just share with everyone else what was going on and where I'd been. And so I think that's interesting too, because a lot of veterans are like, well, I don't even know where to begin. Call.
Totally. Yes, yes. And that process is very overwhelming. Like, I don't know where to do, I don't know where to go, I don't know what I need. So thank you for that. Yes, because that is thoroughly discussed in the consultation, especially when you sign up. We definitely advise veterans, kind of what to do, how that process works. Um, well, so super exciting to also tie in. So we are doing a partnership with Warrior Rising, which I know you are also involved. I would love if you could just share briefly just how you got started with Warrior Rising, what exactly you do, our partnership. I think it would be so wonderful to share that with people.
So REE Medical is now partnering with Warrior Rising, and Warrior Rising is a nonprofit that helps veterans in entrepreneurship. And so what I like to tell people is at Warrior Rising, we have epic lives in and out of uniform. We have extended our support to spouses and children of service members or veterans, which I think is absolutely amazing. And what we do is we have a virtual workshop space. So we have classrooms for coaching calls, for master classes, and then workshops, which really provide the veteran a virtual space to be connected with other veterans who are entrepreneurs and get great training. So I'm very excited to share that with you and see our community kind of grow, because they should be able to decide for their second career what they're interested in. You know, I tried corporate, other people, and many stories of veterans who really tried to work it as a civilian and found that they saw problems in the service and out, and they started a business to answer and solve those problems. So that's what I love about veteran entrepreneurship. I think they're special entrepreneurs because they run into the fire and not away from it.
I love that. And I will include, when we upload this, I will include information about Warrior Rising in there. So anyone that's watching, if they want to learn more, please go. It's incredible what you guys are doing. I love that we're partnering with you guys. We're definitely going to do some more, program events with you guys in the future in person. So we'll definitely be promoting that on our social media platforms. But it's just so cool to see it come like full circle. You know, you obviously being a veteran, going through our process, and now with Warrior Rising, it's just, I can't wait to see this partnership grow and just inform more veterans about what you guys do and get everybody, informed on that. So thank you so much.
No problem. And I honestly think it has to do with, because I'm back connected with my care and I'm not having that anxiety, depression, and loneliness, that I'm able to focus on the next chapter of my life with confidence in entrepreneurship. So I really appreciate that.
I love that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with us here today, Theresa. It was so wonderful speaking with you. Congratulations again. We're so excited for you and just look forward to continue working together.
Awesome. Thank you.